guys, and welcome to another MK Mobile video. Guys, we have special occasion today. First thing first, I have a hat for this particular video because I wanted to talk about the tower, and I wanted to talk about the tower ever since I saw what the reward is from that tower. Now, we don't have yet the Fatal Tower, but it is set in the release notes, or I don't know where I read it, but it was kind of official, I don't want to believe it 100% before I see the tower, but still, it is said that we have increased chance of getting Classic Lucane, Classic Rain, and Classic Rain. Now, if this is the case, if this means that we're going to get one of those three, in my opinion, this is going to be the best rewards that we could possibly have. Because, and I hate to say it, but I cannot demonstrate it in survival mode because survival mode doesn't work. Quick mode doesn't work, so the only place where I can possibly test that and showcase is the regular battle mode. I mean, what can you do, right? Also, I can test in tower, but I'm out of attempts for now. Anyways, why I believe that if this is the case, then this tower is going to be the best. Not because it has the greatest equipment ever. I think we had towers that had better equipment, for example, the Linkway Tower. But in this particular case, we can get the three characters that form, in my opinion, the absolute best team in the world. In the world, like in the galaxy, the best team in MK Mobile. This team cannot lose. Like, honestly, it cannot lose. I don't know what you can possibly do in order to beat this team. Now, first we have Classic Rain. Of course, in order to make him work immediately, you need to have a lot of power. So this is the reason I gave him all this equipment, and he needs to do two special tools in the beginning. Though, if you have the Divine Argus Claw, he can Team Soak. He has pretty good chance to Team Soak on the very first special tool. I know that's not really the easiest thing to achieve, but you can do that, right? You can do that. Now, Classic Rain works in this team in a Fusion 0, so he's a support guy. But if this guy is maxed out, then, I mean, it is going to be impossible to lose. Not that you can lose if he is Fusion 0, and the other two guys are Fusion 10. Classic Raiden, one of the best characters in the game, if not the best character in the game, and Classic Lucane, another one of the best characters in the game, if not the best character in the game. This team has everything. He has Team Soak against bosses, if that still works. I haven't tested it yet, but it wasn't written in the release notes that they removed it, so I hope that it's still there. So we have Classic Raiden, who is a total boss everywhere, and if there's a Team Soak, he can do a lot of damage to the enemy team. You have Classic Lucane, one of the best fighters against bosses, despite the nerfs to his special too. And you have Classic Rain, one of the best disablers in the game, guaranteed snare, pretty amazing. Now, I'm going to give you a few hints on what this team can do. And of course, don't take that like I'm not going to prove anything against battle mode, right? Of course, you're going to win there. But I wanted to showcase how this team can work in an amazing way. Now, I didn't show you the equipment because I wanted to just demonstrate how this team works and how beautiful it is and how it has 0 counters with the correct equipment. Now, I'm going to do special 2, then I'm going to do another special 2, which will... Oh, they changed? What? Oh, I'm on auto combat. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry about that. I absolutely forgot. It's a new thing. I cannot really... not used. Moving on. Everything is new, so anyways, disregard this battle. I'm going to demonstrate it again. And I'm going to use the opportunity to show the equipment, basically. You already saw my Classic Rain equipment. This is the equipment I have from Raiden. Basically, the point here is he needs to start with 2 bars of power so that when he attacks, he's going to have 3 bars of power thanks to Rain. Also, he has this beautiful piece of rare equipment that you can get in the few coming months, probably if they repeat the tower. That's pretty cool because at the start of X-Ray applies Death Mark, which, if we have Team Soak, we apply Death Mark to everybody, and that's a beautiful thing. Now, one annoying part is that Classic Rain and X-Ray doesn't count as lightning attack. I mean, come on, he's just electrocuting the spine of the enemy, and somehow this is not considered a lightning attack, so it doesn't do damage to the entire enemy team. But it doesn't matter. If you manage to pull successful tag in with Classic Rain, this will remove about 60% of the enemy health, if they are soaked, which is going to be the case, right? Now, I'll be doing special 1, and hope that I'll be team soaked immediately. Yes. Now, I am tagging into a Raiden. I was a bit late. And then I'm doing X-Ray. Now, look at this beautiful thing. The X-Ray will finish right now. Look at this. She is already crippled. Sadly, she resisted one of the other things that I had for her, but she is already crippled. So, on tack, Classic Raiden deals removes 60% of the health of every single character that is soaked, and he applies cripple on them. Isn't that beautiful? And this is not, actually wasn't the perfect run. You can do it in a way so that they all get that mark, and that's beautiful. I'm not saying that this is really the absolute best thing you can do on Classic Raiden, but I wanted to showcase it because it's the best thing you can do if you want to play this team for immediate X-ray. So I'm going to do one more battle with this team, and then I'm going to switch to another thing that you can do using another piece of equipment. That's going to be awesome. Now, because you know, really, you don't want to go to X-ray all the way, right? And in a lot of cases, because you don't have maxed out tower equipment, you won't be able to do that. The important thing is to be able to team soak the enemy immediately. Okay, they're soaked. Now they're going to get team soaked. Second special too. That should be beautiful. They should get team soaked. Alright, beautiful. Now I'm going to look at this death mark, juicy death mark. Now we are going to, you see, they come, even though he didn't really take a lot of damage from attack. Did they nerf the soak? Actually, I don't think they did. Somehow he didn't take a lot of damage. But the beautiful thing is, look at this. He has death mark already when he tags, and he's crippled. Amazing. He's crippled because every time when Classic Raiden tags in, he does special 3 or X-ray. But thanks to Liu Kang passive, he applies cripple. And since the entire enemy team is soaked, the cripple is applied to the entire enemy team. And that's beautiful. Now, another thing that you can do, let's remove the piece that gives extra bar of power. So we are going to do this, and we also will be using another piece, which is easily obtainable. It is a tower piece, but it is kind of easily obtainable. This thing here, alrighty. So you can see 100% chance to apply Frostbite on Special 2. And guess what? We'll be doing Special 2 now. And I'll be using the opportunity to give some power. I won't be using Liu Kang that often, but the thing is, if you give him another piece that gives power, he can start with 2 bars of power as well, which is going to be absolute annihilation for the enemy team. They cannot do anything. And I cannot think of single team that can possibly counter this. The only team possibly that can do something is an X-ray team, if you don't have any means to I don't know, to power drain the enemy opener if they start with X-ray. That's the only place where you can possibly lose with this team. But it will fix all problems if you have some kind of a, I don't know, defensive mechanism on the range. Team soaked, beautiful. Now I'm going to do like this, and I'm going to do Special 2 right off the bat. I believe they nerfed it. I believe they nerfed it. But anyways, doesn't matter. Look at this now. She's weakened, she's crippled, and this guy is also, actually, why are you not frostbitten? I'm going to check it once again. So they were crippled, they were weakened thanks to my Special 2, but they were not, I think that the reason why they are not also frostbitten is because the other guy just died, so I couldn't really apply the, it actually applies after you do Special 2, or I think it does, so he was already dead, so I couldn't apply. That's the reason why this didn't work. But you can imagine, if they tag in and they're weakened, they're crippled, and they have, you know, they're actually soaked, and they have another juicy thing which is called Frostbite. That would be amazing, guys. One last attempt to check whether this is the case. Probably this is the case. Alrighty. 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 So, what about the cripple? Not about the frostbite. Frostbite? No frostbite. But isn't that enough? Cripple and weaken. Look at them. What can they possibly do? So, two very good examples of how to use this team and why I believe it's the best team in the game. Classic Rain, of course, Classic Rain, you know, to achieve that easily requires a lot of good equipment, but it doesn't have to be like this. For example, he starts with 1 bar of power, so if you have another piece to start, so that he can start with 2 bars of power, and you can, let's say you have a lot of power generation equipment so that you can easily get to another special attack, or use his passive so that he can have extremely, you know, easy time getting to another special 2, you can partially fix that problem. So the tower equipment is important, but you can do it without it. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. When it comes to the equipment on Classic Raiden and Classic Liu Kang, it's not necessary to be epic tower pieces. It can be uncommon piece like a soul, you know, you're going to frostbite the entire enemy team. And just based on the fact that you attack, you are applying Team Cripple and Team Weaken. I mean, what? How can you possibly fight this? It's amazing. Yeah, so basically this is going to be all for me for today. I just want to check one last thing. I want to check whether they nerfed the soak, the team soak. And in order to do that, I will go to my MK11 Rain, so I can check the description, because in MK11 Rain, where are you, my friend? Where is my MK11 Rain? Did I apply? Oh, sorry about that. So my MK11 Rain, in the description of his passive, it is set what the frostbite does. Let me see. All right. The counter attack, okay, and 30%. Okay. When an active enemy is affected by soak, each instance of lightning will hit all enemies affected by soaked, including the soaked, last 20 seconds. It doesn't say that they take less damage, right? Because it seemed to me that at one occasion... Okay, I will try one last time, and this time I will be paying attention to the numbers. So what is the number that... what's the damage that the enemy are taking? And I will be skipping Test Your Might, because I don't really need that. Alrighty. Okay. One last chance. I don't want just to do like negative comment stuff. So if you like it, go ahead and buy it. Oh, not buy it, but just yeah, use your soul suit. That's fine. Alrighty. Come on. I think it's kind of nerfed. It seems that they didn't take... Okay, let's see now. What is going to be the damage that I will deal to everybody? No, they're not taking the entire amount of damage. I think it's nerfed, guys. I think it's nerfed, but still it's working pretty good. Considering the fact that I'm not really trying hard. The point is, though, how it will be working in faction wars and survival mode. Now, if this thing is totally nerfed, then yeah, I can still think that this is one of the best teams in the game. Whether it's the best team is debatable, but it all depends on whether they nerfed it. I am not convinced that it's nerfed. Probably it's some kind of a bug in whatever. But yeah. Anyways, guys, so this is going to be all for today. Please let me know in the comments whether you think that this thing has been nerfed. I hope that it wasn't. See you next time, guys. Take care and stay safe.
Perfect.